I'm now joined by two members of the Texas Zoo and actually the interim executive director, Leanne Bloomfield. It's so nice to meet you.
Nice to be here.
And we're also joined by staff member Anissa.
Hi, it's great to be here.
It's great to see you both, and I can't wait to learn more about your upcoming fundraiser. It's the zoo's biggest fundraiser of the year.
Yeah, it is. So we put a lot of effort into this one. We have some smaller ones within the year, but A Wild About Wine is definitely the biggest one. So we try to focus a lot on that one.
Yeah.
And so we just use we gear everything towards this one. And we use a lot of local wineries, local food vendors and stuff like that, because we really want to bring community engagement in with this one. And it brings us a lot of crowd who actually haven't been to the zoo. They've lived here their whole lives. They're like, we've never been. So doing this type of event, because everybody loves free food too. So bringing in this type of event helps get people engaged a little bit more.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful ambiance. I mean, what can you ask more? What can you ask more of than like the live animals there? I'm sure it's like lit beautifully. And you've got a pretty consistent and dedicated board.
Yeah, we do. We're really happy with our board members that have been coming in and really showing up for us. Sometimes it's really hard for smaller places to get a board in that really wants to be on the ground with you and willing to help, like ours is. With the animals that we'll actually have there, we'll have some live animal encounters. So we have our bear feeds that are really exciting. Everything is through protected contact. They use tongs, nothing scary. And then we have some animals too that will actually are education keepers, which is her area. That's our new education manager. So that is her area of that one. And so they'll be walking around with some animals as well. So people can kind of touch them and get a little bit close to nature in the warm lighting atmosphere that we have outside of our area.
That'll be so much fun. I know I've been to the zoo several times. I haven't made it to Wild About Wine, but the zoo itself is such a treat. You've got the spider monkeys, you've got anteaters.
No, we don't
Not
actually have anteaters, no.
Okay.
But you're probably thinking of the coatis.
That's
so everybody
what it
thinks
is.
the coatis are anteaters, but they're actually South American raccoons, basically. They're like first cousins to raccoons. But they do actually have that really long nose, and they are insectivores, so they do eat a lot of insects. That's why at the bottom of their exhibit, we made it nice and full of different leaf foliage, grasses down there and stuff, and we even add little extra earthworms down there to help make it into a really good environment for them that they can naturally show how they hunt and scavenge for little worms and stuff like that.
And I remember when the aviary, I guess it was remodeled at some point in the last couple of years when that opened up. That is a beautiful, beautiful part of the zoo.
Yeah, speaking of that, we actually just did a little bit more renovations for the fencing of it, because since that opened up, I mean, the zoo has been through some major catastrophes. We had Harvey, which was a really bad flood for the zoo, and so a lot of the things like fencing we still had from that time point.
Oh, wow.
So we actually just did renovations for it. Also did it where the animals have more of a beach area, so it can be nice and smooth for their feet again. We did a little bit of work on their water feature, and we're not done with their water feature yet. And then we also added in an outdoor area that the birds, so the macaws that are living next to it, and the aviary birds, the ducks, the pelicans, spoonbills, they can go into an area where it keeps them nice and warm, so we don't have to move them out anymore on those colder days. They're able. It reduces the stress on them whenever we have to move them, and then so we can just open up their door and then let them go back out just so our guests can see them as well.
Wow, and you're going to have there's still the tiger out there, right?
No, there's no tigers anymore. Yeah, the tigers and the lions did move because of the hurricane.
Because of the hurricane.
Yeah, so then we got the bears, the jaguars moved, and the ocelots moved. Also, the tigers and the lions went to bigger zoos, and their exhibits were huge.
Yeah.
And we couldn't compete with that, so we felt for the welfare of them that it would be best to leave them over there. But like I said, we got the bears in that are pretty famous bears. They were on Jimmy Fallon with Robert Irwin when they were cubs.
All right, I got to go see these bears because it turns out it's been years for me too. So we got to make it over there. And Wild About Wine, let's go ahead and share the date for that. That's going to be on a Saturday?
It's on a Friday.
It's on a Friday.
Yeah, April 24th is on a Friday. It is a 21 and up event, since we'll have like wine in there and stuff like that. So we're kind of gearing it to like date nights and stuff. We still have tickets available.
Okay.
We still have our sponsorship tables still available as well. And you can find that information on our website, or you can call up to the Texas Zoo. We'll be more than happy to talk about that with everyone.
Well, great. Thank y'all so much for coming on. I need to book my next visit to the zoo and get to know those bears.
Yeah, we have all sorts of encounters too. That you can also book online and stuff like that. So feel free to book anything with us.
Yeah, Texas Zoo. You don't need to have what is it, a child with you. You can just go.
Oh yeah, you can just go. Honestly, we get a lot of tourists in, and they are on vacation. So during the week, when we don't have our field trip season right now, we actually get a lot of older couples in because they really like the small atmosphere of our zoo. It's small for them. They can see the animals and get close and a nice quiet environment and stuff. So we actually get a lot of older couples in the summer as well.
Very nice.
It's fun.
Especially you can also get your annual membership. So you can get your annual membership, and it kind of saves you money.
Yeah,
so you can visit year round.
Oh,
And
Very
on weekends we
nice.
do keeper chats, so you can meet the animals just walking around.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, I want to thank y'all so much for coming on the show. I hope to see y'all again. Let's promote your events. Let's promote those bears.
Yes, thank you for having us.
It's my pleasure. All right, well, coming up, don't go anywhere. We learn more from our guests here on Community Crossroads.